always says that the term healthy food is such a redundant term because food is supposed to be inherently healthy, and if it's not, then I don't know what it is. The real question, however, is how do we keep food the way it is supposed to be healthy and make it so tasty that you regret having it any other way? Hello foodies, I am Tanuja Bhatt. Welcome to my kitchen Zoomy Bhatt, where most of my kitchen zoomies lead to clean desserts. Today we're in my mom's kitchen and we're going to make something sweet, something delicious and completely regret proof. Brace yourselves because we're about to dive into the world of coconut laddoos. But let me warn you, my mother doesn't measure her ingredients. She just knows when it's right. So I'll be your translator today and I'll be converting all of the little bit of this and a pinch of that into actual measurements and techniques. Now here's the master chef, my mom, all set to work her magic. We first start with the foundation of the laddu, which is the coconut, the groundnut and the sesame seeds. All of these need to be roasted separately. So we'll start with the groundnuts. These need to be roasted to a perfect crisp texture. This means that you need to roast it till you start hearing the groundnuts go chut chut in the pan. We start roasting the sesame seeds. Now sesame seeds are fairly easy. Take these aside, let them cool. Next, we have to dry roast the rest of the dry fruits. Now these get added later in the laddu. These are not going to be powdered. So these we'll roast in ghee. If you have homemade ghee, even better. Roast them in ghee till they turn a light brown shade. Once done, you take them out. Keep them in plate aside, a dry plate again. In the same ghee that's left in the pan, you can dry roast your coconut. Not dry roast, but roast the coconut. This has to be fresh coconut that has just been grated, and you just taste it a little and see if it's sweet or if it's gone bad, because your laddus are going to carry the flavor of the coconut, which is obviously the main ingredient. So dry roast the coconut until it turns a shade of light pink or light brown is also fine. Now depends on how long you want the shelf life of the laddu to be. Preferably between a light pink to a light brown shade. Dry roast the coconut and keep it aside. Now let all of these roasted ingredients cool down. Now the most important part, the binding ingredient for the laddus is the jaggery. We're using the liquid jaggery, which is like the molasses basically. If you have powdered jaggery, then you just need to let it heat on the pan. Now this is without any ghee or anything, it's just a dry pan. Let it melt. Once it melts, then it's done. We need the jaggery to reach a sort of a caramelized state, but not too caramelized, because we want the laddus to be soft when you bite into. In this recipe I'm using molasses, and this takes a little bit more time. So once you start boiling it, you'll see a layer of foam that starts to build on top. This is just before it comes to a boil. There'll be like a lot of foam on top. Now this is when it's done. So let it boil for 2 to 3 more minutes and turn the heat off. You can now add the coconut. Now once you add the coconut, turn the heat on, let it cook on a low flame. You have to mix well. Mix well till the jaggery has been absorbed into the coconut really well, and it will take you about 2 minutes. Once that's done, you add the groundnut and the sesame powder. Now remember, when you're grinding the groundnuts, don't over grind it, because then it'll be peanut butter. We don't want that. We want a fine ground texture. So just pulse if you're in doubt. And even if there are like small tiny chunks of groundnut, that's still fine. With sesame, it's the same thing. If you over blend it, it'll be tahini. We don't want that. So, just to be safe, pulse it. So you add the powdered groundnut and you add the sesame to this coconut and jaggery mixture. Mix well, and while this is still on low heat, now once all of it has combined, you can add the cardamom. We've used about 8 to 10 finely hand pound fresh cardamom. Please use freshly ground cardamom, because that's the flavoring ingredient. Do not use cardamom that's been stored in some dabba somewhere for ages. You can add like a pinch of salt, optional. Mix it really well with the dry fruits and everything. Let this mixture cool for a while. Reach a temperature where it's okay for you to make the laddoos, or what I call laddu bending, which is something that my mom's is really good at. And there you have it, coconut laddoos that are just as sweet as my mom. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know in the comments below if you guys tried this recipe out. I really want to know what you guys thought of it. Until then, keep cooking, keep exploring, and most importantly, keep it clean. Thank you.